At the commencement of the joint sitting on Thursday last week, I indicated that members would be given an opportunity to observe a moment of silence today for the death of the mentally ill patients in Gauteng. I will now ask the honorable members to please rise to observe a moment of silence in memory of the late fellow South Africans. Thank you. Please be seated. Honorable members, during the joint sitting last Thursday, a number of issues were raised. On some of the issues that were raised, we committed to get back to the House. And I would now like to address the joint sitting on some of those issues. The first one was an alleged release of tear gas or pepper spray in the gallery. Honorable members will remember that guests in the public gallery and some members were affected by what appeared to be a powdery substance that was released in the gallery. The matter was investigated. We are now able to report that a powdery substance was indeed dropped in the gallery. It was contained in a small packet. The item was retrieved and handed to the relevant authorities for testing, and the results are still outstanding. The matter is therefore receiving attention, including the circumstances which led to it being dropped in the gallery. We can confirm, however, that it was not tear gas or pepper spray. The second issue was relating to the cable ties. A matter was raised about cable ties that were allegedly intended to be used on members of parliament. We have referred the matter to the police for investigation. The third issue was about the presence of armed members of the South African National Defence Force. Honorable members, regarding the presence of the armed members of the South African National Defence Force on the precincts, we wish to indicate that the presiding officers have written to the Minister of Defence and Military Veterans with a view to seeking clarification on the matter. We await the response of the Minister before we engage further on this. The fourth issue is unparliamentary language. It has been brought to our attention that certain members engaged in behavior and used language that could only be described as unparliamentary and unacceptable. Members should be aware that it is sometimes not possible to hear members, especially when the remarks are not uttered through the microphone. When the chairperson of the council noticed an altercation, in particular in the front benches, even though we did not hear the words used, she appealed to the honorable members to behave appropriately. I would only wish to emphasize the point that insults and similar language do not serve to enhance the dignity of Parliament. This conduct sets a bad example to the nation. Honorable members, we are leaders, and it is expected of us to behave as such. The fifth issue relates to the physical removal of honorable members. The joint rules provide that when members have been physically removed, the circumstances that led to their removal must be referred within 24 hours to a multi-party committee for consideration. The physical removal of the honorable members last Thursday has since been referred to the Joint Rules Committee for consideration. I thank you, honorable members.